Hello, this is Duke from Duke It Out. Now, usually I don't want to film any kind of videos on my phone or not in my own set location or anything like that. But as I was getting ready to edit today's Weekly 5, after I had already filmed it, it became one of the biggest pieces of wrestling news, definitely this past week. But last night at the AEW Double or Nothing Fan Fest, MJF did not show up for his scheduled meet and greet. And there was also no Samoa Joe also didn't show up for his meet and greet, but with him it was more of a communication issue. But what it turns out with MJF is that he straight up no-sold the autograph signing, apparently. And apparently, according to Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful, there has already been a flight booked for MJF out of Las Vegas last night. And this is a major shock, especially since last week we'd already gotten a walkout piece of wrestling news with Sasha Banks and Naomi. And now it seems like we could be getting another situation just from AEW and MJF. Now, there are people that are thinking that this could potentially just be a huge work because MJF loves to troll the fans, and this isn't the first and if this were to end up being a work, it wouldn't be the first time that MJF has trolled us. But with the circumstances, it really is pretty unusual. I don't know if they would really go into that type of taste, to go into that type of relevancy for a storyline, but you never really know. But you also don't know if this could be a completely different situation for MJF, that he had to fly to Las Vegas because there was a family emergency or something like that. We really don't know. But from what I'm assuming now, I'm going to say that for now, I think it's a work. I think at some point later tonight, MJF is going to show up at the pay-per-view still because he has his match with Wardlow. And if it ends up being true and MJF just straight up walked out, I feel really bad for Wardlow that he got his first big pay-per-view singles match and the guy no-shows. That would be awful if that ended up being true. But overall with this situation, I think it's more so leaning toward a work, but it could definitely be truth that MJF was legitimate, like everything that he was tweeting about, getting sick of with the company, talking about in podcasts, all that many people could have thought had been a work, but it could end up just being true, and he wanted to walk straight out of the company and maybe try to use that as jumping ship to WWE. Who knows at this point? Especially with the Cody switch, it feels like anything is possible at this point. But I just wanted to be sure that I got this piece of news out there and was able to release on the channel before I release today's episode of Weekly 5, which will also go into very interesting topics, but definitely none of those topics were as drama-filled as this situation. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, and duke out your opinions below in the comments.